Well, I bought another GameCube. I've picked up quite a few now, but my goal was to get mostly all the different variants that were released in the US, minus some of the pretty hard to find special editions. I had the Platinum version, but I modded that thing out like crazy, and I wanted one that was just gonna be left original or stock. And I also wanted to see what a renewed GameCube or refurbished GameCube from Amazon would look like. So that's what I ordered here today, and we're gonna take a look at what I got. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button, helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the SpawnWave channel, make sure you subscribe down below. First, we're gonna talk about today's sponsor.
Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes. It's a great place to learn a new skill or maybe work to perfect current ones. I've been trying to get better with cooking at home, and a class I found on Skillshare not only walked me through the process of cooking a basic meal, but also focused on concepts around cooking like understanding heat and standard knife skills. There are a ton of categories ranging from business to web development to productivity. Skillshare is ad-free, so you won't be interrupted when you're in the zone, and new premium classes are launched each week. The entire catalog is even available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. The first 1,000 people to use the link or my code will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Check out the link below in the description and get started learning a new skill today. Once again, thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video.
Now, I do have a lot of people message me about where the best place would be to get a GameCube, and to be honest, it's still kind of a roll of the dice if you're online shopping for one. It can say it works in the description, they can have the best pictures of it, then you get it and it's kind of scratched up on like the glossy top where the plastic is, or it doesn't read 100% of the time, or there's like a chip on the side that they didn't quite get in frame, so it is hit or miss with this one. But if you go to a gaming convention in person, that's probably your best bet so that you can just examine it in person. But the ones on Amazon, I've heard, depending on where you get them from are pretty good. So unfortunately, they're also kind of expensive, but like GameCube stuff in general has just continued to skyrocket in price. I also ordered a game, and they don't have pictures for any of this stuff. So I kind of figured, all right, it's gonna be a roll of the dice with this one. And this is Need for Speed Underground. It was described as good condition and complete, and I don't necessarily know if I agree with the good condition. It's player's choice, so that automatically it has a strike on it. But also the plastic is pretty dirty. The cover art's kind of chewed up. Looks like there was some water damage on it. The disc itself, let's put a little bit bubble wrap in there. The disc itself doesn't look bad. Like, this should work fine, but like the manual is also chewed up. Basically, the moral of the story here is make sure there are pictures that you can examine when you go to buy. Which brings me to the GameCube itself. This is supposed to be a platinum GameCube in like new condition, complete. So it should have the official Nintendo controller, official Nintendo power brick, and maybe even AV cables. So let's take a look here. This is, I saw the company name on the side. There we go. It's from a place called Game Swift. And let's see, we have paper packaging, and then everything's also bubble wrapped pretty well. Okay, good. It is an official controller. I can already see that from here. I wonder if they did get the official Nintendo AV cables. They did, wow. A lot of times I'll see like a third-party set of AV cables just kind of thrown in here, but that's pretty good. Bent pretty badly here, but it's not really gonna affect anything. It looks fine though, nothing cut up or anything there. Let's see the controller first. You know what, that actually looks really good. Buttons all feel solid. The C-stick isn't chewed up or anything. No obvious markings, maybe a little bit of wearing here, because when you go to put the GameCube controller down, you know, that'd just be on the ground there, but like everything else looks pretty solid. None of the buttons are sticky or anything. This is a really good start. Power brick is also official Nintendo, Dole 002. Looks fairly clean overall. And then we have the system, which once again, a whole bed of bubble wrap down here. So it came shipped and packaged really well, and even the GameCube has a bunch on it. There we go. This looks shockingly good. There's like one little scratch here on the painted part, but like even the glossy plastic where like this jewel is looks, I mean, almost perfect. Eject button feels solid. It's not sticky. Reset, power, all of that's good. vent on the side looks very clean. Bottom has all of the covers. A lot of times you'll get like a used GameCube and it's missing just this cover for whatever reason. I mean, most of us didn't remove any of these covers. I mean, sure, some had like the Game Boy Advanced adapter, but most of the time these just stayed put. But like, it looks really clean on the fan there. And this is the one thing I will bring up. One of the reasons I would look for a listing with pictures, because you want to see the back here. Ideally, you would like to have that digital port. I just had the AV out here. It's not a big deal for me because I already have several GameCubes that have that digital port, and for the most part, I just wanted to collect all the different GameCubes that I could. But if this is like your main one and you want to take advantage of maybe one of those HDMI adapters that are starting to come out quite frequently now online, you want to make sure that digital port is there. I do want to take a look at just how clean this is, because for the most part, you can look through the vents on the sides, not see any dust or dirt or anything, and then you open up, there's like a dust bunny hiding in there. So a couple of screws and we can take the top off and look. So just the 4 screws out. Again, GameBit driver, they're on Amazon, they're cheap. I recommend having the different sizes, whether it's for cartridges or Nintendo systems like these, but lid comes right off here. And yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. Even right under here, like there is the smallest amount of like dust in here. So I don't know if they open these up to clean them further, but like the fan blades all look really clean. And even just looking under here, I don't really see any debris or anything. So hey, shout out to GameSwift, because they definitely do a very thorough job when it comes to cleaning their systems before they sell them. Look, even under here, it's pretty much empty. Oh, and I'll be asked at times, what's a good system to start with if maybe you want to get into opening them up, repairing them, or just doing different modifications as a hobby. I still think the GameCube is a pretty good one to check out because it just takes 4 screws to get inside of it, and for the most part, everything goes back together relatively easily. Even going down to the motherboard, it's not too bad. Now, with all that said, we might as well make sure it works. I plugged it in through the Eon HDMI adapter that goes through the AV port. Still doesn't look great on like a flat screen TV because it's running through that composite port, but at least makes it so I can hook it up to this monitor to check it out. So we'll pop in this Need for Speed Underground game that I got off of Amazon. It should work. It doesn't look bad or anything on the disc. It's more disappointing about the case being chewed up pretty badly. But there it is. Seems to function fine. I really liked Need for Speed Underground 2, and I didn't really enjoy the first one as much. I just liked the open world that they had in Need for Speed Underground 2. The soundtrack was great. The car selection was really good. I understand Need for Speed Underground 1 had to exist for us to get to, but still, 2 is definitely the way to go. I gotta say, this ended up being a pretty good pickup when it comes to GameCube systems that you buy online, since a lot of times there'll be something going on with it, whether it's chewed up cables or the system being damaged in some way, cosmetically or otherwise. This turned out to be pretty good. I mean, this thing just loads up immediately. Sometimes the GameCube will read and then read again, and you're like, okay, that laser's on its last leg, but no, this one just right away reads the game and drops you in. Also, can we just stop for a second and realize that this game has no business looking this good, through composite even. You get this, by the way, progressive scan through the digital output with HDMI. It still looks really good. 2 decades later, just about. It's still an awesome game too. So if you're looking to build up a GameCube collection starting from scratch, go for F-Zero GX immediately. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it here for the refurbished GameCube off of Amazon. I have to say I'm a bit surprised here because usually you buy something off of Amazon or eBay and there's no pictures and it's refurbished and you're just holding your breath hoping that it shows up in one piece. The GameCube is getting more expensive. Like, you're finding complete ones with OEM controller and cables anywhere from $150 to $200 online. So you wanna make sure that the source you're buying it from is gonna provide you hopefully with a good system. I guess I can recommend GameSwift as the system that I got here. Showed up in like new condition and works completely fine. But let me know what you guys think about this one. And if you have been looking for a GameCube or picked one up recently, what's your luck been like in the used market? Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.